Welcome back to the channel. I'm Crypto Trend Trader, and today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily. But before we get started, I'd like to remind you this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please trade at your own risk and don't risk more than you're willing to lose. Alright, so here we have the Bitstamp chart. We're looking at Bitcoin on the daily, and essentially what we did was we drew in a little bit of the support and downward sloping resistance lines that are forming this triangle, descending triangle that we're stuck inside of. And essentially what we're looking to do is complete this triangle and get our breakout in one direction or the other. So we went ahead and overlaid all the fibs here, and you can see that we've basically been just forming this channel in between the 618 of the entire run up and the 382, and then we slowly move to the bottom half of the channel in between the 0.5 and the 382, and we're slowly moving back down towards the 382 again. Now what I suspect will happen here is we're eventually going to get the breakdown from here, and it's going to take us back down to the bottom of the triangle, where we can either find support again and essentially form a triple bottom or double bottom, or just fill out the support zone here and then get a strong bounce up to the upside, possibly even a spring like out the bottom to hit the 0.5 right here and then bounce up to the upside. Or essentially what we could do is we could get this failure here, drop on down, and then break through the 0.5, get a little bounce back up, test the support as resistance, it fails, and drop down to the 682, and then we'd have to reevaluate. Now again, we have quite a bit of confluence coming in right down here at the 618, 236, and the 1.618 and the 2.618 of some of our other fibs. But the most important here is this red 236, because if you look, that actually spans back to the entire dip from this run right here. And then you know what I'm actually going to do is I want to throw one more fib up here all the way from the bottom to the top right here. And you can see that we actually are getting a lot of confluence as well, because that 0.5 for the entire run up that ended 2017, 2018, that entire run up is the 0.5 right here in purple and the 382 right here. And you'll see again the confluence because we have these same zones coming in at the exact same spots. So again, if we do break through this 0.5 and drop down here, I think it's very likely we're going to either hit this 0.5 here in green or this 618 zone right down here. And that was also where we consolidated on the way up, so the likelihood that we would come back down here if this support fails, consolidate here, and then get a strong move from there is much more likely than to us just hang out here and then all of a sudden get a strong move to the upside. There's a reason that these patterns develop in the way they can, and there's a reason that they're considered to be bullish or bearish. Now granted, the market can do whatever it wants anytime, but this is a clear signal to the market essentially saying that every time we try to push the price up, we get less of a reaction, and every time we come back down, we get that same support level, which is going to get weaker every time we hit it as those orders get filled, and then we get a weaker bounce, come back down, this gets a little weaker, we get a weaker than this bounce, comes back down, this gets a little weaker, way weaker this time, comes back down, and I suspect we're going to come down here and it's going to get weaker again, and eventually this buy wall is going to run out. It's going to get bought through and the price is going to dump down below this. And what we have to do is we have to be ready for what happens when it does. And then assuming I'm wrong and it goes in the other direction, maybe we consolidate here and then we get a strong move to the upside. We need to already have an idea as to the levels that we're expecting price to reverse at, or targets specifically, so that we can know when we need to take profits along the way. So that's what we're going to take a look at real quick, and I think the most important thing that we can look at, if we break to the upside, we're going to look to at least get to this 618 zone right here, which is also going to come in confluence with the 382 of the purple fib, and it's going to give us another top right here. And then if we can break through that, I think the next target's going to be the top of the pattern, and then if we break through that, we'll have to reevaluate the situation from there. And then again, if we break to the downside, our first target is going to be the green 0.5 at 84.96 or 8,500, and then assuming that doesn't hold, we're going to want to come down to the purple 618 or the green 618 right in this area, this little zone right here, right in the 72 to 7500 range. And as you can see, we are on the daily, and we're going to take a look down here at the jewel indicator, and what that jewel is telling us is the same thing over and over. When we got this big push up here, the blue moved on top and crossed over. When it's above the purple and they're both above the white, we're in a strong uptrend. When the blue crosses back down, you can see that signaled the dump down here, and then we come down, we get a strong move back up. The blue makes another attempt to get back above. It gets denied by the white, and then we come back down. And as you can see, we put in our bottom right here around the 20 zone. Again, we move up. We start getting the red distribution zone in the same way that we did here. Same way that we did here. You can see how well this indicator works. Gives us the distribution, gives us the hard sell, and then it dumps. Gives us the distribution zone, gives us the hard sell, and then it dumps. Gives us the distribution zone. Now granted, we didn't get the purple up high enough to get the hard sell, but as soon as you see the price start moving down and you see the slope on that blue one starts getting stronger to the downside, you know we're in a powerful move down. And then again right here, we got the big move up, the blue on top, the purple made it over, and now here we are. We just crossed the blue back down underneath the purple, so I suspect we're right about here in the area, so we could get one more powerful move back down from here before we get picked back up at the bottom of the triangle. We could always get a fake out cross, something like this, where the blue goes under and then comes right back over, and we get another push up, and that would break us out of the triangle and give us our next move, and we could play it by ear from there. But as you can see, at this point in time, based on the daily, it looks like we are in fact going to be headed to the downside. Let's go to the 4 hour real quick and take a look. And again, we have almost the exact same signature. The blue has come down underneath the purple. They're both above the white, so we can expect the blue to come down here, hit the white, and then get some kind of bounce up, or it can fall straight through, and we could get our move down. But I suspect that we will get some more reaction off of this yellow support line inside of our resistance zone. So once we broke above it, we can potentially treat it as support while we're here, and hopefully at least test one more time up to the 10-6 range right here with the red downward sloping resistance before we get shot back down. But it is possible that we go ahead and fall down here. So there we have it. Basically a little Fibonacci, a little bit of the analysis of the targets in the future. If you have any questions or anything, please leave them in the comments. If you're interested in the Jewel indicator, it is free on TradingView. Just look up TJD Jewel, and you can add that to your charts absolutely free. If you have any questions, comments, you like a specific coin or anything looked at, please leave that in the comments as well. Give us a subscribe and check us out for daily content. Thanks a lot for tuning in today for Bitcoin on the daily with Fib targets. I'm Crypto Trend Trader signing off.